The idea of a neurobiotic sense is a transformative concept in the way we understand the body's communication with the brain. Traditionally, we've divided senses into five: sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch. But as science evolves, we've discovered internal senses like proprioception, interoception, and now, potentially, neurobiotics, the sensing of microbial activity within the gut, interpreted directly by the nervous system. This hidden, sixth sense does not manifest in the traditional ways we associate with sensory experiences, but it profoundly affects how we think, feel, and act. It operates below our awareness, yet it may be one of the most important systems guiding our long-term health, our cravings, our mood, and even how we socially connect. At the heart of this neurobiotic sense are neuropods, specialized cells lining the gut that function like sensory neurons. They are capable of translating chemical messages from gut microbes into electrical signals that travel directly along the vagus nerve, reaching the brain in milliseconds. This isn't just slow chemical modulation of mood through hormones, but real-time, high-speed neural signaling. These neuropods can release neurotransmitters like glutamate and GABA, the same molecules used in the brain to regulate mood, motivation, and alertness. In essence, these cells allow the microbiome to speak in the language of the brain. This mechanism opens up a new understanding of hunger. Appetite may not simply be the result of nutrient depletion or blood sugar drops, but also a dialogue, sometimes a tug-of-war, between microbial populations and the brain. Certain bacteria thrive on particular nutrients, and studies suggest they can signal through neuropods to create cravings for specific foods. For instance, bacteria that feed on sugar may reinforce sugar-seeking behavior by sending feel-good messages to the brain via these pathways. But rather than seeing this as manipulative or pathological, we might understand it as a form of adaptive intelligence. The Body Microbe Alliance, developed over millions of years, works to maintain internal balance. When functioning optimally, this system encourages consumption patterns that support both microbial diversity and host health. Beyond appetite, the neurobiotic sense likely plays a powerful role in mental health. The gut has long been associated with emotional states, giving rise to metaphors like gut feelings or butterflies in the stomach. But these expressions may be more literal than we ever imagined. Emerging research links certain microbial profiles with resilience to stress, lower anxiety, and reduced risk of depression. Neuropods may be the key interface that translates microbial presence into neural patterns that influence mood. Through rapid vagal signaling, gut-derived information can shape the activity of brain regions involved in emotion regulation, including the amygdala and prefrontal cortex. The speed and specificity of this communication allow for finely tuned feedback loops between gut state and mental state. The immune system, too, is deeply enmeshed in this sensory web. Microbes in the gut regulate immune tolerance and inflammation levels, and neuropods may offer a direct line between microbial activity and brain-mediated immune control. A brain that feels a balanced and harmonious microbial environment may downregulate systemic inflammation. Conversely, disruptions in the microbiome, such as those caused by antibiotics, poor diet, or chronic stress, could be rapidly detected and interpreted by the brain as a threat, leading to heightened immune vigilance or even neuroinflammation. This neurobiotic awareness might explain why changes in gut health so often precede or accompany autoimmune flare-ups and mood disorders. It offers the possibility that enhancing this sense through prebiotics, fermented foods, or targeted probiotics might reestablish both mental and immune equilibrium. The implications for behavior are equally profound. There is growing evidence that microbial signaling influences social behavior, motivation, and even risk-taking. Certain strains of bacteria have been shown in animal models to increase sociability, perhaps by modulating oxytocin or serotonin levels via neuropod activation. In humans, dysbiosis is linked not only to anxiety and depression but also to altered cognition and decision-making patterns. If our microbial residents can nudge us towards social connection or isolation, toward exploration or withdrawal, they are participating in the shaping of our personality and lifestyle choices. This extends the idea of free will into new territory. Our behavioral tendencies may be subtly sculpted by the communities within us. Rather than diminishing our autonomy, though, this realization is empowering. If we can nourish the microbes that support prosocial, resilient, and healthy behaviors, we gain a new tool for personal transformation. Diet becomes not just a matter of physical health, but of mental clarity, emotional stability, and social vitality. The neurobiotic sense reframes nutrition as a form of sensory training, every meal a communication with the brain, every dietary pattern a way to tune the body's internal messages. This perspective could eventually change medicine. Rather than treating depression or autoimmune disease with drugs alone, we might intervene by modulating the gut-brain dialogue directly. Vagal nerve stimulation, microbiota transplants, or precision neurobiotic therapies might restore the clarity of this sense when it is dulled or dysregulated. And in wellness, we may see a rise in neurobiotic practices, rituals, and routines that align the body, brain, and microbes into coherent, supportive feedback loops. In the end, the neurobiotic sense invites us to view ourselves not as solitary organisms, but as ecosystems in constant, intelligent conversation. This hidden form of perception, this microbial whisper in the nervous system, guides our appetite, our moods, our immune defenses, and our social instincts. Learning to listen to it may be one of the most profound advancements in self-understanding and health stewardship in the decades to come.